Welcome to Stoic Focus, where ancient wisdom meets modern challenges. Have you ever been thrown off by a question that seemed harmless but left you doubting yourself? Picture this: you're in a heated discussion, and someone asks, "Why are you so sensitive?" or "You trust me." Right on the surface, they sound innocent, but deep down, you feel the ground shift like you're suddenly playing a game you didn't sign up for. As someone who studied Stoicism for over 20 years, poring over Seneca's letters, Epictetus's discourses, and Marcus Aurelius's meditations in their original Latin and Greek, I've seen how these subtle traps can unravel your peace faster than a storm tears through a forest. But here's the good news: Stoicism isn't just old philosophy, it's a shield against manipulation. Today, we're unpacking 5 sneaky questions liars use to control you, inspired by a powerful YouTube video, but reimagined with my own insights from decades of applying Stoic principles in boardrooms, relationships, and even counseling veterans. I'll share real stories like catching fraud in a New York office or navigating betrayal, and give you Stoic responses to stay calm, clear, and unshakable. Stick around till the end for personal lessons that could transform how you handle every tricky interaction. If you're ready to fortify your mind, hit subscribe and let's dive in. Comment, "I choose clarity" when you're done. You'll see why. Why questions are weapons. Before we jump into the 5 questions, let's set the stage. Manipulators don't always lie with statements. They strike with questions, turning your own mind against you. Seneca wrote, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." And boy, do deceivers know it. They plant seeds of doubt, guilt, or exhaustion, hoping you'll spiral into self-doubt. In my years studying Stoicism and working in high-stakes environments like advising on corporate mergers or helping friends through toxic relationships, I've seen this tactic everywhere: the colleague who deflects scrutiny, the partner who dodges accountability, even the politician who spins narratives. These questions aren't random. They're chess moves in a game where your clarity is the prize. Stoicism, though, makes you the grandmaster. Epictetus taught us to focus on what's in our control, our judgments, not others' words. By the end of this video, you'll have 5 Stoic tools to spot these traps and respond with unbreakable resolve. Let's break them down. Question 1. Why are you being so sensitive? This question is a gaslighter's opening shot. It sounds like concern, but it's an accusation you're weak. You're imagining things. The problem's you. The original video nails it. Sensitivity isn't a flaw. It's your radar for danger. As a Stoic scholar, I see this as aligned with the virtue of wisdom, noticing what others miss. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If someone can prove me wrong, I'll gladly change, for I seek truth, not victory." A true ally respects your perception. Only manipulators shame it. Here's a story from my own life. Back in my 20s, fresh out of grad school, I worked as a financial consultant in New York. My colleague, let's call him Tom, was fudging numbers on client reports. When I flagged a discrepancy that could have cost millions, he smirked and said, "Why are you being so sensitive? It's just business." That line hit hard. I started questioning myself. Was I overreacting? But Epictetus's teaching on controlling judgments kicked in. Sensitivity wasn't my weakness. It was my strength. I looked him in the eye and said, "I'm not sensitive. I'm observant." "Does that make you uneasy?" he stammered, and a later audit exposed his fraud. That moment was a wake-up call. Manipulators fear your awareness because it lights up their shadows. In my opinion, society's got it wrong when it mocks sensitivity, especially for men. We're told to tough it out. But Stoicism says toughness is seeing clearly, not numbing your instincts. Think of a nurse I counseled who sensed a patient's misdiagnosis, but was dismissed as too emotional. Her persistence saved a life. When someone asks, "Why are you being so sensitive?" don't defend or snap back. Channel Marcus's calm and say, "I'm not sensitive, I'm observant." Does that bother you? It's short, sharp, and shifts the spotlight. Try it next time you feel gaslit. It's like flipping a switch in the conversation. Question 2. You trust me? Right. This one's a velvet trap. It sounds gentle, but it's a demand for blind faith to silence your doubts. The original video points out that trust is earned through actions, not begged for, a truth Epictetus would have loved. He said, "It's impossible to learn what you think you already know." Manipulators use this to make caution feel like betrayal, shutting down your questions. Let me share a personal example. A few years ago, I was dating someone, let's call her Emily, who grew secretive, hiding her phone during our dinners. When I asked about it, she leaned in, eyes wide. "You trust me." Right after everything, it felt like a plea, but my Stoic training screamed warning bells. Trust isn't a gift you hand over under pressure, it's built through consistency, as Seneca emphasized in his essays on friendship. Instead of reassuring her, I said, "Trust comes from consistent actions." "Are you asking me to ignore inconsistencies?" Her defensiveness told me everything turns out. She was cheating. That heartbreak hurt. But Stoic epithia, detachment from reactive emotions, kept me grounded. My take, our culture often mistakes trust for naivety. In business deals, I've advised. I've seen partners pull this line to hide shady terms. Stoicism teaches prudence, not paranoia. Next time someone asks, "You trust me?" Right pause, breathe, and say, "Trust is earned through consistency." Are you suggesting I ignore my judgment? It's a verbal judo move, calm but powerful. I've taught this in workshops, and clients say it's like reclaiming their mental space. Honest people don't flinch at scrutiny. Only manipulators do. Question 3. Are you accusing me of something? This question is a masterclass in deflection. You raise a valid concern, and suddenly you're the villain, defending yourself instead of getting answers. The original video compares it to a courtroom where the guilty make the judge apologize spot on. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The best answer to anger is silence," meaning don't play their game. This question thrives on flipping the script, making your curiosity the crime. Here's a real story. At a family barbecue in Texas, I'm a Midwesterner but love Southern hospitality. I noticed my uncle pushing sketchy investments on relatives. When I asked for details, he snapped, "Are you accusing me of scamming the family?" The room froze. I felt like the bad guy. But Stoic composure, inspired by Epictetus's focus on what's in our control, saved me. I held eye contact, waited a beat, and said, "Should I be silent?" He backtracked, and later, we learned it was a pyramid scheme. That pause was everything. It's what Stoics mean by holding your ground without escalating. Personally, I think this tactic is rampant in toxic workplaces or families where questioning is taboo. Stoicism counters it by valuing truth over harmony. My clients, especially women in corporate settings, report this question being used to silence their valid concerns. Respond with, "Should I be," it's 3 words, TTS friendly, and flips the pressure. In my experience, it's like a verbal mirror, reflecting the manipulator's intent back at them. Truth doesn't panic. Only deception does. Question 4. Would I ever lie to you? This question is poison wrapped in sincerity. It's not about reassuring you. It's about guilting you into silence. The original video calls it a performance, which I love Seneca's rule. If it's not true, do not say it. Cuts through the act. Honest people don't need to protest their virtue. Their actions do the talking. A vivid memory while co-authoring a book on Stoic ethics. I caught a colleague plagiarizing obscure texts. When confronted, he feigned shock. "Would I ever lie to you? We're friends, it was pure theater." Drawing on Marcus Aurelius's pursuit of truth over ego. I replied, "That's not the question. Would I know if you did?" He crumbled, admitting the plagiarism. That moment solidified my belief. Scrutiny offends only the dishonest. In my opinion, this question is a red flag in any context: relationships, politics, even social media influencers dodging accountability. Stoicism empowers us to demand evidence, not emotion. Say, "That's not the issue. Would I know if you did?" It's like turning on a floodlight in a foggy room. I've shared this with students, and they've used it to call out half-truths in negotiations or friendships. Truth welcomes questions. Lies dodge them. Question 5. Can't we just move on? This is the manipulator's last resort. Exhaust you into dropping the issue? It sounds like a plea for peace, but it's an escape from accountability. The original video ties it to Marcus Aurelius's insistence that truth doesn't expire, which I agree with wholeheartedly. Liars survive when truth seekers give up. Example. After a business partner mishandled funds, he kept saying, "Can't we just move on? Water under the bridge." But Stoics don't bury problems. They face them. Inspired by Epictetus's dichotomy of control, I said, "I'll move on when I understand what happened, not before." That forced a real reckoning, leading to restitution. In my view, our move-on culture often sacrifices justice for comfort. Stoicism demands clarity for peace. Respond with, "I'll move on when I understand, not before." It's calm, firm, and shows you won't be rushed. I've seen this work wonders for clients, like a veteran I counseled who used it to confront a manipulative ex-spouse, reclaiming his calm. Stoic strategies to stay unshakable. Liars thrive on your emotions, guilt, shame, fatigue, but Stoicism is your shield. Epictetus's golden rule: some things are in our control, others are not, is your anchor. When guilted, remember their feelings aren't your burden. When shamed for sensitivity, see it as strength. When pushed to move on, no truth has no deadline. Picture a storm winds howl, rain lashes, but you stand unmoved. That's apatheia, not apathy, but rational calm. A story: a veteran I worked with faced relentless gaslighting from an ex. Using Stoic detachment, he paused, observed, and responded deliberately, breaking her manipulative hold. In my opinion, Stoicism's greatest gift is this: your reaction is your power. Take it away, and manipulators are weaponless. Ask yourself, is this in my control? And you'll find freedom. These 5 questions: why so sensitive? You trust me? Right, are you accusing me? Would I ever lie? Can't we just move on? Are traps. But you're no pawn. You're a Stoic warrior, armed with clarity. My lessons embrace awareness as power, demand consistency for trust, flip scripts with calm questions, scrutinize innocence claims, and insist on truth before closure. Seneca, Epictetus, and Marcus Aurelius knew it. The awake are feared because they can't be controlled. In my 20 years of living Stoicism, I've seen it save careers, relationships, and sanity, mine included. If this speaks to you, subscribe to Stoic Focus and share it with someone who needs it. In the comments, write "I choose clarity," Stay unshakable, your spirit depends on it.